Hey Puppy Trades, I wanted to do a video analysis update to answer one very important question, which is when will the stock market top? Specifically, when will SPY and QQQ top? Now before I go any further, I want to say that a few days ago, I posted a video about my long-term favorite shareholding ideas for 2021 and beyond. I want to stop right now and say that absolutely nothing that I say in this video will affect those long-term shareholding positions. None of those stocks are in SPY and QQQ. Some of those stocks have dividends, and some of those stocks will actually, in the past, have done very well when the stock market has gone down. Beyond Meat, for example, we had a lockdown, the stock market fell, and then Beyond Meat did very well because there was a meat shortage, okay? So I'm not going to touch any of those positions. Pfizer, for example, has a really nice dividend. There's a really nice benefit for me holding Pfizer shares, okay? As a long-term investor, I'm not going to touch any of those shares that I opened 4 or 5 days ago, okay? So let's get right into it. Way back in November 13th, I said that my math says that the S&P 500 reaching 380 to 382 is the next big price level to take caution. Okay, we reached that today. We're going to talk about where that number came from and what I think now that we're here. I also want to make very important in this video that I believe 390 to 392 is the ideal place to exit SPY and QQQ. We're also going to talk about where I got those numbers from. So let's look at the SPX right now. This is the S&P 500 cash index. The only reason that I'm not looking at SPY directly is because my SPY chart is really marked up. It's pretty messy. I don't want to touch it. I really like what I have. But the SPX is basically the same thing. It's really important to watch this too. Okay, so we reached 380 today. And where did that number come from? Why was I saying, so confidently that if you called a top before 380, 382, you're going to look like a clown, okay? The reason that I said that was because this was a very simple bull flag pattern. We take the length of leg 1 in time and price, we place it at the low of the consolidation, and that equal legs target gave us 380, okay? We reached that today. We're going to talk about where I think we're going to go now and the next levels to watch, okay? Another thing that's really cool is that this is a beautiful pitchfork, okay? So if we take this low, connect it with this high and this low, then we have a really nice Andrews pitchfork with very nice reactions on the median and very nice reactions on the lower bound. We see with today's breakout, it looks like we're going to go from the lower bound of this pitchfork to the median of this pitchfork. Once we reach the median of this pitchfork, I think that's a place where, if you're still in the market, there's going to be a rug pull, and people who don't look at pitchforks, they're going to be in pain, okay? So I'm not a permanent bull. I'm a pitchfork bull, and we're going to talk about some levels to look for going forward, okay? So we've reached 380. Now what? The most important thing that I'm looking for is when will the S&P 500 reach the median of this pitchfork, okay? There's nothing more important than that. Now, we're going to talk about some other things that I'm really watching closely. If we look right here, from this low, we have a really nice bull flag pattern found by taking the length of this move and making a bull flag pennant. So we go sideways. We have our support levels rising. So someone called this an ascending triangle pattern. I think they would be correct, where the support levels are rising. Really nice bull flag pattern right here. We take the length of this move from the low, we place it at the low of consolidation, and that gives us our bull flag equal legs target of 390, 392. So that's why I'm saying the ideal place to really hit the brakes on SPY and QQQ is once we reach this equal legs target of 392. More importantly, once we reach the median of this pitchfork, okay? So I did a video yesterday talking about NVIDIA and Microsoft, how you can't expect the stock market to crash if NVIDIA and Microsoft are going to surge. That's been the theme of my videos for a while. So I'm expecting that we're going to go from the lower bound of the pitchfork to the median of this pitchfork, and I think that we are going to go the length of this move in time and price placed at this low. That's going to take SPY to 392, okay? So SPY at 392, I think that's, personally for me, the red light. That's when you get out of SPY, you get out of QQQ, and you start looking for the median of this pitchfork to be reached, and you start looking for opportunities to short, okay? I think once the median of this pitchfork is reached, what we're going to see is a pretty nasty correction. Okay, I believe that SPY and QQQ, after they reach, these targets that we're going to talk about, will be due for a correction, and that we will potentially see the high from February 2020 be retested. Okay, so I think it's really important to realize, what could be in store to the downside once the median of this pitchfork is reached. And that's why I'm saying once 392 is reached, pause, hit the brakes, and start looking for the median of this pitchfork to be reached. Possibly opportunities to short. We'll talk about that when we get there. For now, the length of this move in time and price placed at the low of this bull flag will take us to 392. We also have a very nice Andrews pitchfork with a clear reaction on the median, clear reactions on the median, clear reactions on the lower bound, clear reactions on the lower bound. Now with today's breakout candle, it looks like we're going to the median of this pitchfork, okay? Let's look at QQQ. This is the exact same low that we had in June, okay? So SPY, if you remember what we did, we took the length of this move in time and price, we placed it at the low of consolidation in mid-September, and QQQ still has not reached the equal X target. So just as important as SPY reaching 392, reaching the median of its pitchfork, I think that QQQ will very safely reach the length of this move in time and price placed at this low. This is the exact same June low and the exact same September high that we take the length of for SPY. We place it at the exact same September low, and QQQ is due to reach 326 in my opinion. Okay, let's talk about QQQ from a Elliott Wave perspective real quick. We have a ABC correction from the September high, A, B, C, and then we have wave 1 and we have wave 2, okay? So in Elliott Wave theory, when you have a wave 1 and a wave 2, what you do is you take the beginning of wave 1, you connect it with the high of wave 1 and the low of wave 1 and the low of wave 2, and you have a very beautiful Andrews pitchfork with clear reactions on the median and clear reactions on the lower bound. Okay, so we go wave 1, wave 2, the median is the target for wave 3. We have already seen and proven that this median is proven to act as a magnet, it's proven to act as resistance. Now we're reacting on the lower bound. Now we are heading back to the median. So just as important as SPY reaching 392 and the median of its pitchfork, I expect that QQQ will reach 326 and it will reach the median of this pitchfork, okay? We take the beginning of wave 1, connect it with the high of wave 1 and the low of wave 2. We have a very beautiful Andrews pitchfork, clear reactions on the median. This median's proven to act as a magnet. It's proven to act as resistance. Now we have reactions on the lower bound, and we're heading back to the median, okay? So when will the stock market top? It's going to top, in my opinion, when SPY reaches the median of the pitchfork we went over, when SPY reaches 392, because that's the bull flag equal legs target, when QQQ reaches 326, because that is its equal legs target, or when QQQ reaches the median of this pitchfork, okay? So I went over time and price targets yesterday in my NVIDIA and Microsoft video. I think we're going to just stick with that exact same, template that aggressively everything that I've just said will play out by the end of January. Very conservatively, I think this is all going to happen by the end of February. And I think just right, this is going to happen by mid-February. I can see a melt up in the market happening even quicker than that. Okay? But let's look at some other stocks that will also give us a really good tell on when the S&P 500 and when the NASDAQ will top, okay? So this is the SPY Growth ETF. We notice this is the same low in June, the same high in September, and it forms a bull flag. So the SPY Growth sector has yet to reach the median of its pitchfork, or the SPY Growth sector is yet to reach the bull flag equal legs target. So remember, SPY, this is SPYG, SPY has already reached the length of this move in time and price from the June low placed at the September low. It's important to realize that SPY Growth, SPYG, has yet to accomplish that feat. So I believe that it doesn't make sense to call a top in the stock market until SPY Growth does exactly what SPY has already done, go the length of this move in time and price, placed at the September low. I believe SPYG will reach 58. I believe SPYG has very beautiful reactions on the median of this pitchfork, and that it is going to go back to the median of this pitchfork, okay? We also have a very nice bull flag where we take the length of this move, we place it at this low, and we see that that is also another way that we get 58 as a target, okay? So I'm looking for SPYG, this is SPY growth, to go the length of this move in time and price, place at the September low, and it is going to reach the equal legs target of 58, which SPY has already done. Okay, so when's the stock market going to top? It's going to top when SPY reaches 392, when SPY reaches the median of its pitchfork, when QQQ reaches 326, when QQQ reaches the median of its pitchfork, when SPY growth reaches 58, and when SPY growth reaches the median of this pitchfork. Okay, this is the SPY dividend ETF. So this is SPYD. I really like this setup right here. This is a wave 1 and A, B, C correction to put in a wave 2. And now the very conservative equal legs target is wave 3. Why is that conservative? It's conservative because in Elliott wave theory, wave 3 is 1.618 times the length of wave 1. Okay? So it's conservative to say that wave 3 will be at least the length of wave 1. So we take the length of wave 1, A, B, C correction, we put it at the low of wave 2. I believe that the S&P 500 will not top until SPYD, this is the SPY dividend ETF, goes from the lower bound of this pitchfork back to the median of this pitchfork. We see if we connect the beginning of wave 1 with the high of wave 1 and the low of wave 2, we have beautiful reactions on the median of this pitchfork, we have beautiful reactions on the lower bound, and now we can see that we're breaking out and we're going to the median of this pitchfork, okay? So that will take SPYD conservatively to 37. Now we're going to go over some stocks in a few different sectors. They're really important. They all actually have a very similar setup to this right here. So if we look at this tweet from December 29th, I said one thing to look for before we top is that airlines, cruises, and casinos will have to reach the median of these Andrews Pitchfork and their minimum equal legs targets, okay? So this was a post about Boeing, American Airlines, Wynn Resorts, and Norwegian Cruise Lines. I've done a whole video on this, so please go back and watch it. But for the purposes of this video, we're just going to look at Boeing, and we're going to look at Carnival Cruise Lines to look at other ways that we can time a overall top in the market. And we also are going to look at this post that I would encourage you guys to look at. Very similar idea about the oil sector. I said SPY can't crash as oil stocks surge. These have a very similar setup to Boeing, the airlines, and the cruise lines, which makes sense because the price of oil goes up, the price of airline stocks are going to become more valuable too. But anyway, if we look at the oil sector, we have Chevron, this is Marathon Oil, Valero, and PCG, the exact same setup where we're looking to go wave 1, A, B, C, wave 2, and then we're going to go to wave 3. Okay, so right now, we're going to look at Boeing, we're going to look at Carnival Cruise Lines, and we're going to talk about ExxonMobil to find a few more ways that we can decide when will the stock market top, okay? So if I had to enter a position on any of the stocks that I've gone over in this video, it would definitely be Boeing. Very clearly, I think this is the best setup in the market. We'll talk about the straddle and strangle index in a little bit. But we go wave 1, wave 2, wave 1, wave 2. So this is a nest. Boeing is building up energy for a very powerful move. It's broken above this high. So that confirms that this is a completed 1-2, that this is all consolidation, and that the target for wave 3 is the 1.618 extension, which will take Boeing all the way to 344. We also have from this wave 2 low a very nice bull flag pattern, okay? So we take the length of this move in time and price, we place it at this low. Our theoretical stop loss level of 199 was never reached. The only reason I say theoretical is because this is not investment advice. But I would say the invalidation level for this setup would be this low of 191. If Boeing breaks below or closes below 191, I will definitely revisit this, okay? But we're going to look right now. We have a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 1, a wave 2, and now we're going to enter wave 3 of 3. Or I should say we are in wave 3 of wave 3. We formed a very beautiful bull flag pattern. And it looks like Boeing is going to go the length of this move in time and price, placed at this low. That's going to conservatively take Boeing to 300. I believe Boeing will go to the median of this pitchfork as well. So we take the beginning of wave 1 with the high of wave 1 and the low of wave 2. We have a beautiful reaction on the median of this pitchfork, and now I believe we're going to go back to the median of this pitchfork. So I think that, we're kind of all clear in this market until Boeing goes all the way to 300, okay? Let's look at Carnival Cruise Lines. Very similar idea. We talked about Norwegian cruise lines as well in prior videos. We go wave 1, A, B, C. Wave 2, we form a bull flag. We take the length of wave 1 and time and price. We place it at the wave 2 low, and we believe that is our conservative wave 3 target for Carnival Cruise Lines, okay? So Carnival Cruise Lines has also formed a bull flag from this wave 2 low. It's consolidated sideways, and I believe we take the length of this move in time and price, we place it at this low, as well as we take the length of wave 1, and we place it at the wave 2 low, and that's going to give us some pretty reliable conservative targets, in my opinion, of 29 and 31, okay? So I believe that Carnival Cruise Lines will go all the way up to 30. It's going to go to the median of this pitchfork. If we take the beginning of wave 1, connect it with the high of wave 1 and the low of wave 2, we see these very beautiful reactions on the median. I love seeing how the low of this daily candle wicks right on the median. We have our reactions, and now we are going back to the median. I think that we're all clear in this market until Carnival Cruise Lines reaches 30, okay? One last thought we're going to go over is ExxonMobil. We have a wave 1, A, B, C, wave 2. We have beautiful reactions on the median of this pitchfork. We form a bull flag from the low of wave 2. And today, we broke and closed above the high. So that's kind of confirming our bull flag breakout scenario. I believe we take the length of this move in time and price. We place it at the wave 2 low. We take the length of wave 1 in time and price, and we place it at the wave 2 low. And that's going to give us a very reliable target, in my opinion. The bull flag target would be 53. And the wave 3 target, conservatively, will be 56. If we take the beginning of wave 1, connected with the high of wave 1 and the low of wave 2, we have beautiful reactions on the median of this pitchfork. I believe we're going back to the median of this pitchfork. So I believe we're all clear in this market until ExxonMobil reaches 53 to 56 and reaches the median of these pitchforks, okay? So make sure you go back to these tweets. I talked about Chevron, Marathon Oil, Valero, Pacific Oil and Gas, and I gave those targets. I'm going to be looking at all of these. And I talked about Boeing, American Airlines, Wynn Resorts, and Norwegian Cruise Lines. So I think I've done a really good job of covering what levels I'm looking for a potential stock market top. I think that this run-up in the market will aggressively play out by the end of January, conservatively play out by the end of February, and just right for me would be mid-February. And then I think time to be very cautious once some of these levels are reached. Most importantly, once the median of this pitchfork is reached. Most importantly, once the S&P 500 reaches 392. Now we're going to do real quick is we're going to go to the bar chart straddle and strangle index. So this is barchart.com. Okay, I made a free account. I've never given this service $1. Okay, I'm going to talk about exactly what I do every day. I go to options. I go to long strangle, and I go to long straddle, okay? Let's look at long strangle right now. Okay, I take a picture of this every night. And what I would say, if you really want to change your trading life, take a picture of this every day and just add a few stocks to a watch list, okay? That's all you got to do. You'll see what I'm talking about pretty soon, okay? But Royal Caribbean, United Airlines, NCLH, Royal Caribbean are all at the top of the bar chart strangle index. What's that mean? Well, this is saying that you could buy the 80 call and the 69 put, and this is giving you a 57% chance of being profitable without even guessing which way Royal Caribbean, which is a cruise line, will go. NCLH is Norwegian Cruise Lines. United Airlines is an airline. What's the big deal about that? They are all in the travel and leisure sector, okay? So what's this mean? This means that options are so cheap that theoretically a trader could buy a call and a put and have a 50% chance of profiting just from the movement of the stock without ever guessing which way the stock will go. So that means that a large move is coming in this sector. Our technical analysis says it will be to the upside. Let's do one last look at the bar chart straddle index. This is the bar chart straddle screener. I'm sorry, I keep calling it the bar chart straddle index. But I take a picture of this every night. I've done a lot of data collection. And we see Boeing, Norwegian Cruise Lines, Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines, Norwegian Cruise Lines, Boeing, United Airlines, okay? So the travel and leisure sector, the options market is saying, hey, options are super cheap, implied volatility is super low, and a large move is coming. What this means is that options are expensive when implied volatility is very high, and options are very cheap when implied volatility is very low. So when implied volatility is very low, that means the stock hasn't moved a lot during the day. That's why options are very cheap. And implied volatility is cyclical, just like every other aspect of the market is cyclical. So you go from low implied volatility to high implied volatility. You go from low option premiums to high premiums. What this is saying right here is that Boeing, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian Cruise Lines, Boeing, and United Airlines have such cheap options and such low implied volatility that a large move is expected, and a trader theoretically could buy the 212.5 call and the 212.5 put and have a 69% chance of profiting without guessing the movement of the stock. That means that a large move is coming. Our technical analysis says it will be to the upside.